Hello, everyone. I'd like to welcome everyone and thank you all for coming. Now we will start KGAP Plus Batch 7 India Challenge with CII, hosted by ATR. I'm Makiko Tatsumi from Business Development Office of ATR, and also I am KGAP Plus Program Manager. KGAP Plus is a startup support program for promising startups from Japan and abroad. Startups pursue collaboration with large Japanese enterprises as well as overseas expansion. From last month, we are hosting 6 selection pitch webinars where startups will challenge to participate in the upcoming 3-month program, Batch 7. So today's India challenge with CII is a stage for startups from India. They are recommended by our partner CII. This webinar is co-hosted by the Confederation of Indian Industry, CII, and also cooperated by the Consulate General of India, Osaka, Kobe, and the Japan External Trade Organization, JETRO. We appreciate your great support very much. All right, well, let's get started. First, I'd like to welcome Mr. Nikhilesh Giri, Consul General of India, Osaka, Kobe. He and his team will give us a great support to success of webinar and our initiatives. So Jiri-san, thank you very much for joining us. Would you please your word to our audience?
Thank you. Konnichiwa. Good morning to the distinguished participants joining from India, and a very good afternoon to all our friends from Japan. I would like to thank ATR and Makiko Tatsumi-san for giving me this opportunity to join this pitching for the 7th batch of the Kihana Global Acceleration Program Plus. I'm delighted to meet the representatives from the Confederation of Indian Industry, even though in a virtual mode. I was hoping to meet them before coming to Japan last August for taking up my assignment as the Indian Consul General in Osaka, Kobe. But that was not possible because of the COVID-19 pandemic situation that time. However, I will definitely try to come and meet them when I visit India next. All I'd like to say is that I have had the opportunity to visit ATR twice in the past 7 months. And I have always been fascinated by the work they are doing in encouraging innovations, incubating startups, and facilitating them to grow and enter new markets from India, Japan, and elsewhere in the world. I have also had the occasion to participate as a listener in 2 of the startup pitching events by ATR recently, in which a couple of Indian companies were taking part. The technology products they were showcasing were quite fascinating and interesting. And I found those sessions very instructive and educational for me. So I made it a point never to miss any opportunity to attend such events. I welcome the representatives of the Indian startups who are going to make their presentations today. From the brief on the website, we can see that these companies are from diverse backgrounds and represent very interesting sectors. And the technologies they are going to talk about address some of the very interesting aspects, such as business management, metaverse, agri-tech, and security. So I must say that I'm really excited to listen to all of you, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As Jiri-san says, India has the great potential. So we are very excited to showcase the power and the startups, great startups here today. Okay, so our core partner, CII, will introduce the activities and the initiatives and the startup support initiatives. So please welcome. We have 2 presenters from CII today. Yes, Ms. Madhu Banandi, Director and Head CII Startup, and also Mr. Barun Aknol, Director, CII Center of Excellence for Innovation, Entrepreneurship, and Startups. Yeah, please introduce your great activity to us.
Thank you so much. A very good morning to all the participants here. Firstly, CII places on record our appreciations for this intense preparatory work to have the Indian startups present to corporates in Japan, thanks to ATR and the team members in ATR. It's been a very productive engagement for us in CII over the years. I also wanted to just mention that Indian Prime Minister launched Startup India in 2016, January. We all know that. So since then, the growth of the startups have been quite significant. Prior to that, as CII, which is the industry body housing supporting about 9,000 corporates across the country, has been engaging with the organizations or entrepreneurs which are just launching, like the startups today. We used to call them, companies who are just micro, small, and newly established companies. So we've had this engagement for many, many years, and we have seen very successful entrepreneurs growing from small to large corporates and global corporates. So our experience has always been very positive, supporting the startup ecosystem. And in the year 2020, CII launched the Center of Excellence for Innovation, Entrepreneurship, and Startups. We do offer a portfolio of services to both startups and corporate and the ecosystem players. With this, thank you again for the opportunity to CII, given to CII to work with ATR and team. I request my colleague and director of the Center of Excellence to take us through what we are offering as services to this ecosystem. Thank you so much again, and over to you, Varun. Thank you.
Thank you, Madhu, and a very good afternoon to all the audience present here today. I'm Varun Aknur. I work with the Startup Center of Excellence at CII. A very good afternoon to the startups who are presenting here today, and wishing you all the very best. Good afternoon to the Consulate General of India. Welcome, sir, to the wonderful session. And I hope we have a great startup pitching today. If you can just allow me a second to share my screen, so basically I'm going to talk about, before I start off, how much time do I have, Makiko-san?
10 minutes.
10 minutes, okay, so I'll just quickly breeze through. I'm going to talk about the Indian startup ecosystem. While the Indian startups here, I'm sure already are aware of it, but this is for the audience on the other side. Also, we'll quickly touch upon what CII has been doing for the Indian startups. So 15, 20 years ago, I could have never imagined that startups would play such an important role in overall development of our country. What does a startup need? A startup needs a conducive environment. It needs an appropriate ecosystem to thrive, which includes adequate funds for startups to help them grow, governments to create an environment of ease of doing business, ready availability of essential services like office space, location, and mentors to provide strategic advice. This slide talks about a quick glance of the Indian startup ecosystem. We are currently the world's third largest startup ecosystem. We've seen a lot of impetus from over the last few years, in fact, from the government in terms of policy and in terms of a lot of simplification of doing business. Interestingly, this phenomena is no longer just in Bangalore, Bombay, and the tier 1 and the metros, but now also there are several upcoming hubs like Pune, Hyderabad, Indore, Jaipur that have seen significant amount of startup funding Not just that, even the academic institutions have become very active hubs for entrepreneurial activities, especially through their incubators. Most significantly, over the last decade, the investor landscape has become very strong and a lot of diversification across stages. And this is also where I feel there is a huge opportunity for HNIs and family offices to engage with startups, and CII has been addressing that. I will talk about it in the next slides. Not just that, there has been an intensified corporate participation, and several corporate programs are running across the country for the last decade. Most importantly, with the pandemic, the kind of digital transformation that we have seen across sectors, we've probably taken a leap of few years in terms of digital transformation and digital penetration. And that has brought a lot of challenges and opportunities for startups to engage and unlock a lot of value. I'm sure most of the people have come across, and there is a lot of discussion nowadays about unicorns. There are about 94 unicorns in India today. We have startups that are now going the IPO route. So this is the journey. Pre-2005, we had few government and academic incubators here and there. We had technology parks who were doing their bit, but what was missing was the risk appetite of of investors, industry, and also the social acceptance of failure. 2006 to 2015, was a period when there was a significant amount of change, and several entrepreneurs emerged, who emerged, and there were several policy pushes for initiating things, but we were still missing the we were missing the real key issue, which was the real key thing, which was the intellectual property based innovation. And most of it was focused on either e-commerce or software. And the real push in terms of this happened post 2015, where we have actually seen not just policies, but also ecosystem actors really engaging in depth, and where we are now beginning to see startups in areas which have long gestation periods, like the defense or space tech. Most of the time, where we don't even know if the revenues are going to come in, we're seeing startups to emerge in these sectors, and we're also looking at the ecosystem enablers accepting these kind of startups. Few actors that like they say, right? It takes a village to raise a child. I think about the same with startups, very much, in the same manner. It takes a lot of different actors of the ecosystem, from government to corporations to investors to educators to support organizations like incubators and the other cultural factors. Startup founders have become icons, and all of this has actually impact what the ecosystem looks like. Today, I'll just focus about key actors and talk a little bit about what they have done. With government, they work on three key pillars, which is simplification and handholding, reducing rolling out. They've started off the Startup India Hub. They've relaxed norms for public procurement of startups. They've also worked with industry academia. There's a lot of industry academia partnerships and incubations. They organize a lot of startup fests to showcase the platforms. Atal Innovation Mission has been launched, where academic institutions can set up incubators. The third pillar is the funding support and incentives, where they've set up a 10,000 crore fund of funds for startups. So all of this shows how the government has been very proactive in supporting the Indian startups. And this is the impact which it has created over the last few years, where we have most of the states having their own startup policies. We have more than around 44% of recognized startups of DPIIT have women as a co-founder. There is a procurement from government. Order value of 2,279 crores were placed through the GEM portal for startups, and the impact continues. Right, so India is having about like I mentioned, 95 unicorns, where We're going to hit a century soon. We have about 60,000 DPIIT recognized startups. There is a value creation of $315+ billion by startups. Over 5.5 to 6 lakh jobs that have been created by startups, which is very, very important. And now the unicorns are taking the IPO route. There is how is the central government doing this? They're encouraging the states to come up with best practices. They're coming up with their own startup ecosystem through startup state rankings. So each year the government rates a state on different parameters on how they are supporting startups, how startups are getting benefited. This has definitely encouraged all the state governments to work towards creating a conducive environment for ease of doing business for startups. Support organizations, incubators, we have seen a huge inflow of incubators. Today, we have about 500+ incubators and accelerators in the country that are supporting various startups. Investments are definitely coming in. There is still a large scope of opportunity here. We have about 6,000+ angel investors who are investing in startups. There is a scope for improving the domestic investments into startups, and I'll talk about how we're doing it. The other key actor is the industry. There are a lot of accelerator programs that they run. They run a lot of innovation programs. There is corporate venturing that's happening. Corporates are working with startups on co-creation and by providing them access to technologies, access to mentorship. So with all of this in place, CII has been working with startups. Our vision is to create a robust entrepreneurial ecosystem in India. We are not an incubator or an accelerator. We play a bigger role. We are trying to see how the Indian ecosystem can leverage CII and better their existing services for startups. We are a force multiplier. The startup ecosystem like Madhu mentioned, we have 9,000+ companies. We have 300,000 organizations that are indirectly associated with us. We have international offices. We have 10 Center of Excellences working at providing value-added services for our member companies. So on the right side is a 360-degree support mechanism in place for startups that come into CII. We provide them with mentoring through our startup mentoring club. We provide them access to technologies through our member companies, R&D labs, co-creation along with our corporates, human resource. Networking is the biggest opportunity for a startup when needed, and that's what CII also provides, along with funding, where we are tied up with majority of India's investment networks, M&As, and access to markets. That is the biggest differentiator for CII today is we bring the user community to the table. We work with corporates who can be your customers. So market access is what we extensively do. These are the 5 interventions that we provide. Policy advocacy through our council, which is chaired by Mr. Sunil Kant Munjal. The council works with the center and state governments on providing recommendations of how to do better, provide better services for startups. How do you do ease of doing business for startups? Along with that, ecosystem development, we work with incubators, accelerators, academia, governments in providing them with knowledge sessions. We also help startups in the growth stage by providing them advisory services and market access programs. Corporate Connect, we facilitate Corporate Connect through our accelerator programs that we do with corporates. We are currently running 3 accelerator programs where it's the corporate provides problem statements. The startups, we scout for startups that can provide relevant solutions for these problem statements. It's a 16-week engagement. And at the end of the 16th week, there is a POC or a prototype which is being paid by the corporate and which can be converted into a full-blown order. So it's a win-win for both corporates and startups. We just don't do the handshake. We take it further. Startup outreach. We have launched Icon, which is India's largest platform as of today. It was launched in 2021 as a 3-month initiative which worked on 5 areas, where we had released 3 reports, one with collaboration with EY, which was about taxation. The other was with Accenture on deep tech ecosystem in India, and the third was CBC with Infosys. Along with that, we had 20 sectorial sessions that happened on the platform. We also had all the state government nodal agencies pitch on the platform to the audience, which were investors, mentors, startups, to attract them into their own states. We also had corporates pitching their problem statements. We had startups pitching their problem statements. Icon is now bigger than ever. We've launched Icon for this year. It is a year-long initiative now, given the demand that we have. So I strongly advise to please look up CII Icon and reach out to us if you would want to be a part of it. Okay, so that's about it from me. With regards to the impact that we've created, which the slide got missed here, is Icon had 9,000 participants. We had 100 incubators showcasing. We had 700 corporates participating. We had 300 startups showcasing their innovation. And also another thing that I missed out was the CII Mentor Club, which is India's largest mentor club, startup mentor club, which is a 6-month engagement where we have 300 corporates who have onboarded and are part of the mentor club mentor program. We have about 350 startups who are availing this program right now. So if you are looking to get mentored by the C-suite executives or by the domain experts or senior managers of corporates within the CII network, you may please reach out to us. With that, I'll stop my presentation, and thank you very much for this opportunity.
Yeah, what a wonderful activity to boost a strong Indian ecosystem. Very comprehensive and very detailed support for startups. Very happy. We are happy to collaborate with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah. Okay. Next, I will introduce the KGAP Plus, our program. Okay. Yes. Sorry about that. I think this computer is freezing. Okay. Yeah. Let's get started. Yes. KGAP Plus stands for K-HANA Global Acceleration Program Plus. Yes, we provide hands-on support for startups to secure POC and pilot test partners. There are 2 features to emphasize. First, we help startups to find a partner with startup-oriented and the second, the startups participate in the program recommended by our global partners. 3-month program, and they conducted online currently. Criteria are very simple. The startup should have a POC level product or service. and they should have strong motivation to expand a business into Japan. Any sector is fine. 80% of 79 startups in batch 1 to 6 succeeded in the finding partners toward POC, collaborative POC. Yeah, let's look at the detail. KGAP Plus was launched by ATL 3 years ago in Keihana Science City, one of the 2 science cities in Japan. ATL is a core institute of the Science City, and we are boosting the global innovation ecosystem here. The region is selected by Japanese Cabinet Office as a global startup city. Yeah, our initiatives are powered by strong global collaboration network. Yeah, the core partner is Barcelona, Spain, Israel, and of course India. CII and NASCOM are partner of us, and Canada and New York City in United States. And at the present, we have partnered with 649 organizations or persons. It's a big number, isn't it? Yeah. As for KGAP Plus, we have global partners. You know, the CII in India and NASCOM as well, and Barcelona Activa, Public Incubator, and Israel East Innovation Authority, and National Research Council Canada, and for New York, the Leading Accelerator ERA. And last year, other partners are joining for Europe, Innovation RCA in London, and Business Finland, which is the Embassy of Finland, and the Embassy of Spain, and for Germany, Bavaria, Japan office, and for Canada, Quebec office, and the Alberta office joined our collaboration network. And this year, more Axio, government of Catalonia in Spain, and the main stage hub in Germany, and the consulate of Switzerland in Osaka, and for Canada, Ontario province office in Japan, and the Embassy of Canada started to send the great startups to us. Yeah, and we have supported 79 startups from 10 countries so far. For India, 8 companies graduated our program. Yes, and for upcoming cohort, we will welcome a few startups from India too. KGAP Plus is a diverse for countries, but not only countries, but also sectors. It's very diverse. 15 sectors in the 79 startups: healthcare, manufacturing, security, and more. And what about the outcomes? Of course, we are pursuing the matching between startups and the Japanese big enterprises, and 80% of 79 startups succeeded. These are lists of the Japanese enterprises or organizations, but some of the organizations don't like to disclose their name. So actually the number is more. And another outcome, insight. Yeah, unfortunately, some of the potential partners give us the negative reaction, but we try to get the why, the reason, insight from from them. So even though see the zero, even zero matching, the startups can get important insights from the program. So, and this is a very valuable insight for them, for startups to keep going. Yeah, and that is the startup satisfaction. We are very happy to get such a great satisfaction from our startups. And the batch 7 is coming. Today is the local challenge for India with CII. And we select 15 startups in total from 6 local challenges. And we kick off the program on March 10 and demo day at mid-August, 3 months. And we selected 5 or around 5 startups to give another opportunity that the startups can connect to other regions. I mean, Europe or North America beyond Keihana, Japan. Yeah, management team from ATR and Keihana Science Institute will support us, and the mentors from industries and VC and public government and the others. Yeah, thank you very much for many organizations. They support us. For this webinar, as I mentioned, the Consulate General of India in the Osaka Kobe support us very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, we are boosting the startup ecosystem in Keihana here, so I'm very happy to introduce India ecosystem and the Indian startups today. Please enjoy this webinar. Thank you very much. Okay. Yeah. Next program is today. We want to introduce the the case study. One startup from India graduated our program, and they succeeded matching with a Japanese company in Kyoto, the south of Kyoto. So that is a good of the Kyoto. Yeah. So Mr. Yuya Tsujimoto, Senior Manager Director, will present their honest insight for the matching. That is a very good story. Yeah, Tsujimoto-san, thank you for joining us. Tsujimoto-san give a presentation in Japanese, so we will give interactive so translation. No problem. So, Tsujimoto-san, お願いします。
はい。聞いてますでしょうか。
はい。
はい。すみません。それでは改めまして皆様、こんにちは。有限会社グッドウッド京都の辻本裕也と申します。この度は KGAP プラスでお話しさせていただく機会いただきありがとうございます。
Hello everyone, my name is Yuya Tsujimoto of Goodwood Kyoto Company Limited. Thank you for the opportunity to speak at KGAP Plus.
当社はですね、現在工作機械を製造するインドのベンチャー企業の方と実証実験のお手伝いをさせていただいております。コラボレーションすることになった経緯や進捗、コラボレーションしての感想等を少しお話しさせていただきたいと思います。よろしくお願いします。
We are currently assisting an Indian venture company that manufactures machine tools with a demonstration experiment. I'd like to share a story about how we came to collaborate, our progress, and our impressions of the collaboration. I'd like to extend my gratitude to all participants. Let's get started.
改めまして私の名刺でございます。私は専務取締役という立場で、私の父が代表をしております。もしよろしければQR コードを読み取っていただければ幸いです。
Here's my business card. I'm a senior managing director. My father is a representative of the company. If you like to, please go ahead and scan the QR code.
自社以外にはなりますけれども、一般社団法人京都施策ネットの理事と、この3月の末までですね、京都機械金属中小企業青年連絡会という90社ぐらいの中小企業の会の代表を務めておりました。
Aside from my company, I am a director on the board at the Kyoto Shisaku-net, a general incorporated association. Until the end of this March, I was serving as a representative secretary of the Kyoto Mechanical and Metal Engineering Small and Business Use Liaison Association.
はい、会社概要です、京都府の城陽市というところの南の端に、会社はあります。で、私の父は、代表はですね、私の父、辻本俊也でございます。創業は1998年で、設立が2004年で、今年で19期目となっております。事業内容は樹脂ゴムの切削材料の製造と樹脂ゴムの切削加工品の製造をしております。資本金は300万円、社員数は現在18名でございます。
This is a company profile. That company is located at the southern end of Joyo City, Kyoto. My father is a representative of the company, Toshiya Tsujimoto. That company was founded in 1998 and incorporated in 2004. Its business activities include the manufacture of plastic and rubber cutting materials and plastic and rubber cutting parts. The capital is 3 million yen. The company currently has 18 employees.
事業内容になります。一般的にですね、プラスチック部品の製造といえばですね、金型を使って溶けた樹脂を流し込む射出成形なんですけれども、我々は顧客から図面をいただいて、工作機械、主にマシニングセンターや CNC 旋盤でワークを削って部品を製作します。完全受注生産で9割、受注量の9割が5個未満です。多くても100個ぐらいの生産量になります。試作品やジグ、大量にいらないような設備等の部品を主に製作しております。
Business overview. Generally, plastic parts manufacturing is done by injection molding, in which melted resin is poured into a mold. However, our company manufactures parts by cutting the workpieces with machine tools, mainly machine centers and CNC presses. After receiving drawings from our customers, that products are completely made to order manufacturing, and 90% of them are less than 5 pieces. We produce 100 pieces at most. We mainly manufacture prototypes, jigs, and equipment parts that are needed in large quantities.
はい、切削の加工事業とは別にですね、原料のペレットから、厚板のブロックも製造しております。一般的に射出成形や押し出し成形とは違う特殊な方法で製造をしております。この技術によってですね、射出成形でしか使用できない原料、材料で安価に試作品を製造することができます。
Separating from the cutting machining business, we manufacture thick blocks from raw material pellets. We use a special method to manufacture these products that is different from general injection molding and extrusion molding. This technology allows us to produce prototypes at low cost with materials that can only be used in injection molding.
この厚板のブロックを製造する技術を利用してですね、モザイクなアクリルということで作ってみました。射出成形やですね、押し出し成形では再現できないこの彩りのアクリル材を製造することができます。同じ模様の材料をですね、再現することができない、このように一つしかないというところと、可愛らしいビジュアルが強みでございます。希少性のこのような付加価値を知ってもらえるコラボ先やですね、使用用と今現在模索しております。
We created mosaic acrylics using the technology to manufacture thick blocks. We realized that we can produce acrylics materials with brilliant colors that cannot be reproduced by injection molding or extrusion molding. The strength lies in the fact that the same pattern cannot be reproduced, and the lovely visuals are one of a kind. We are currently seeking partners and users for collaboration that can appreciate that value in their unique materials.
直近の1年間でですね、弊社180社のお客様と取引をさせていただきました。7年前はですね、1年間で15社で、その頃はですね、上位に2社で8割ぐらいでしたけれども、リスクを回避するために新規顧客を開拓することに努めた結果ですね、現在は上位2社で4割弱、3番目以降はもう 5% 未満です。おかげさまで最近は顧客依存があまりなくなりました。
And last year, we have established a business with 180 clients. 7 years ago, we had 15 clients, and our top two accounted for 80% of our sales. But due to avoid business risks, we tried to expand our company and reach out to new customers. As a result, our top two now account for less than 40% of sales, with the remaining of clients at less than 5% each. Thanks to this, we are no longer depend on specific customers.
それではですね、本題の話になりますが、エセリアル社とのコラボレーションは、2020年の9月にお話をいただいてからスタートしました。
Now on to our main point. This collaboration with Athrio began after we were approached in September 2020.
当初いただいた情報では、エセリアル社は5軸の加工機のマシンメーカーで、特に樹脂加工に特化されているということで、日本で通用する加工技術かどうかチャレンジしたいとの意向があり、日本企業からの提示仕様に対応して、インドで試作し、日本に納品するので評価してほしいという案件であったと記憶しております。
According to the initial information we received, Athrio is a 5-axis processing machine manufacturer, and they wanted to challenge whether their processing technology, especially in the area of resin processing, was acceptable in Japan. I remember this proposal was to have evaluate their prototypes made in India according to specifications of the Japanese companies.
で提示いただいた資料を拝見するとですね、機械の費用が非常に低コストであったために、非常に使用可能な場合は面白いなということを直感的に感じました。
When I looked at the provided materials, I intuitively thought it would be interesting to see if it was possible because the machine cost was very low. I also found it attractive to be able to connect with companies in India, which will be developing in the future.
はい、それで、そしてこれからですね、発展していくであろうインドの企業とのつながりができることを魅力と感じましたし、現在、当社はですね、3軸の加工機のみで製造しておりますので、リーズナブルな5軸加工機を導入することで、加工効率のアップの可能性を思いました。
I also find it attractive to be able to connect with companies in India, which will be developing in the future. Since we currently manufacture only with 3-axis machines, I thought this would have the potential to improve our processing efficiency by installing reasonable price 5-axis machine.
一方でですね、日本に拠点がエセリア社はないということから、点検とかですね、保守について気になるところではありましたが、とりあえず面白いということが第一印象でした。
On the other hand, we are concerned about inspections and maintenance because they don't have a base in Japan, but our first impression was that it would be interesting.
そして、お手伝い するだけではですね、面白くないというふうに思いまして、実証実験の終了後に日本市場に投入できるとなった場合、当社が販売代理店というなる条件を提示したところ、快諾してもらい、秘密保持契約を締結して実証実験がスタートしました。
Then for their future business, I propose to become S3R's distributor in Japan if their product could be suitable in the Japanese market after the demonstration test. We readily agreed, and the demonstration test was started after signing an NDA.
まずはですね、当初の予定通り、5軸マシニングで加工してもらうにあたり、5軸制御の精度が求められるワーク形状を弊社で設計して図面に起こしました。そしてそれを樹脂4種類を指定して、SLR 社に製作をしていただきました。
First, as originally planned, we designed and drew the configuration of the workpiece that required 5-axis control accuracy for processing by 5-axis machining. Then, we asked S3R to manufacture workpieces with 4 types of resin.
で、完成したワークを当社で、計測をしたところですね、ネジの加工に対応不可であったりとか、寸法交差、表面の粗さ等が不合格でした。
When we evaluated the completed workpieces, we found that S3R's machine was not applied to screw machining and failed in dimensional tolerance, surface roughness, and so on.
ただしですね、樹脂加工の切削の条件を聞くと、当社での切削条件とは全く違うことが分かりました。我々のノウハウの切削加工条件で加工した場合には、合格品を製作できる可能性があることを伝えまして、次のステップとして、当社に機械を設置してですね、当社で加工することになりました。費用はですね、2社で折半して、実証実験で合格品が製造することができれば、残りの半分を我々が支払うという条件で、今は機械の到着待ちというところです。
We explained that it might be possible to produce qualified products using our cutting conditions methods. And so we decided to install a machine and produce pieces at our company. That cost will be split 50-50 between the two companies at first. And if we are able to produce qualified products in a demonstration test, we will pay the other half. We are now waiting for the arrival of the machine.
で、コラボレーションしての感想なんですが、海外企業とやり取りがしたことがない当社にとって、すごくとてもハードルが高いと感じました。まず英語でのやり取りは、伴走いただいた ATR の中島さんの多大なる協力をいただきましたし、また自分でも翻訳ツールを使って駆使してメールでやり取りをしました。
My impression after the collaboration was that dealing with an overseas company for the first time was the biggest hurdle for us. We received a great deal of help from Mr. Nakajima of ADR, who aided us in communicating in English. I also managed to exchange emails myself, making use of translation tools.
次に契約書ですね、契約書のやり取り、機密保持程度であればいいんですが、売買契約など金銭関係の契約書になると、専門家に頼る必要がありまして、ジェトロから紹介していただいた、日本商事仲裁協会というところのまず会員になりまして、国際弁護士に、契約書のリーガルチェックをしていただきながら、SLR 社と数回やり取りをして、売買の契約を締結いたしました。
Next is an exchange of contracts, not for confidential agreements, but it is necessary to rely on experts when it comes to sales contracts and other money-related agreement. I was introduced by JETRO to the Japan Commercial Arbitration Association, JCA, so I became a member of the association and had the international lawyer check the legality of the contract.
最後にですね、文化の違い 察するという文化の日本人にとってはですね、細部にわたり、自分の考えをまずは主張して、相手の主張との妥協点を見つけるという進め方には馴染みがやっぱなかったということです。で、私自身はですね、ATR の中島さんのご協力もあり、少し、数年海外に住んだこともあるためになんとなく馴染めましたが、そういった経験がない方であれば、指導してもらえる方がおられないと、自分たちにとって不利な契約になってしまったりとか、契約自体をしないという選択肢を選んで、せっかくの機会を逃す可能性があるなと感じました。でもこういったコラボをしたいと思っている、中小零細企業は本当にたくさんあると思っています。
Finally, there is a cultural difference. For the Japanese, with the support of Mr. Nakajima of ADR, as well as my experience of living abroad, I was able to fit in somehow. However, I felt that those without such experience might miss out on a great opportunity. Choosing an unfavorable contract or missing deals could be detrimental to those who have nobody guide them. But I think there are many small and medium-sized companies that would be interested in this type of collaboration.
まだ途中ですので、当社に機械が設置された後にですね、どういう結果になるかはまだ分かりませんけれども、このコラボをきっかけに、機械以外のオプションについてもコラボできそうだなと勝手に妄想してワクワクをしております。日本とインド、また企業同士がコラボレーションすることで相乗効果が生まれ、素晴らしい結果になるように、当社としても全身全霊で努力としたいと思います。ありがとうございました。
It is yet to be determined for our company what the result will be after the machine is installed. But I'm very excited that this collaboration could bring us other collaborations in the future besides machines. But devoting ourselves to this project, I hope for great result for Japan and India, thanks to the combined effective collaboration in each company. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much too. Wow, great story. Yeah, difficulties and exciting. Yeah, our activities are supported such a positive, open-minded companies in Japan, right? Yeah, I'm very happy. Yeah, to welcome Good Kyoto here today. Oh, thank you very much. And our program is working hard with startups to get more and more successful stories. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to pitching. Okay. So Indian startups, are you ready? I think so. Okay. The first startup is Webnai. Okay. You have 5 minutes. And for audience, if you have a question or comment, please send your question and comment through the Q&A box on the Zoom webinar on the Zoom window. Yeah, startups will answer the question by text after pitching. Okay, Vijay, your turn.
Thank you. Good morning and good afternoon, everybody. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for the opportunity to present today. My name is Vishwam Jindal, and I'm the co-founder of WebNai. Just interestingly, so WebNai basically is made up of 2 words. Web is the cyberspace, and as some of the people on the call would know, Nyai is basically the Hindi word for justice, rules, and judgment. WebNai is essentially a software for online dispute resolution, prevention of disputes, as well as grievance redressal. We provide end-to-end customized solutions for businesses, government authorities, as well as organizations and regulatory bodies to resolve disputes online and to resolve grievances. We essentially have 3 different products. The first product is the commercial dispute resolution, which is tailored for business to consumer or B2C disputes. Essentially, what we've built here is proprietary technology, which uses some artificial intelligence and machine learning capabilities, where an end user, someone like me, can represent themselves in dispute resolution. So whether you're resolving disputes outside court through arbitration, through mediation, conciliation, negotiation, adjudication, whatever mechanism it is outside court, one can be their own lawyer. So they don't really need to instruct a lawyer in business to consumer disputes. We've got a step-by-step guided flow, as well as legal tools and automation behind the scenes, which help you prepare your documents and cases. So when it comes to arbitration, it is the statement of claim, defense, the legal pleadings, generally what lawyers would draft. In mediations, different documents. But whatever you need, the platform takes care of it, and you don't need lawyers. So this technology basically allows you to represent yourself in an actual alternative dispute resolution mechanism. We've also got a panel of experts who we appoint then as experts or judges to resolve those disputes, whether it's arbitrators, mediators, conciliators, etc. The second platform is meant for the more bigger, higher value disputes where lawyers are involved from both sides or all sides. And this platform, Resolve Virtually, is actually being used by people from over 25 countries. And we've got a lot of clients in Australia, in Singapore, in the Middle East, UAE, Saudi Arabia, as well as some in Germany. So essentially, lawyers use this platform to resolve their bigger ticket disputes, generally, which can, have multiple players, can run into documents worth, thousands and thousands of pages. So we basically automate the entire process and reduce their dispute resolution time by almost 50%. The third platform is a grievance redressal platform. Essentially, it allows businesses, government agencies, regulators to manage and resolve grievances quickly. We're also working on the smart city and governance projects, and we have built technology which uses AI, machine learning, and NLP to actually resolve grievances quickly. So just to give you some examples, we are in discussion with Maharashtra government and Kerala government, which are two state governments in India, two provinces, where they're looking to use our technology on top of their existing systems to manage and resolve grievances from the citizens, whether it comes to smart cities, whether it comes to statewide portals, or whether it comes to at a district or ministry or central level. Just quickly on some of our features. So I've already mentioned the document automation technology, which is proprietary on how you can be your own lawyer. We've also got a complete end-to-end virtual sort of digital room or conferencing facility where people can hold hearings, can hold meetings, can enter into agreements, discuss anything over video, over audio, over text. And we've built our own video conferencing software as well, which is in-house. We've got the standard things that you would expect. So we've got digital signature capability, we've got analytics, we've got cloud storage space where lawyers, parties, judges can save their documents, can save their court docket. We're also in discussion with some courts and tribunals in India to start using the software, hopefully this year itself. And there are other things like, there's WhatsApp for business integration, there is service of process legally in India, as well as now we're building mechanisms for clients and how you can serve processes legally in Saudi Arabia, UAE, Singapore, and Australia. And we're currently available in 5 Indian languages, but we would be very keen to, add international languages like Japanese and other languages. It's a completely secure platform. We've got all ISO level standards and securities in place. We comply with data protection law in India. We also comply with GDPR because we've served German clients and French clients, as well as other data protection laws wherever we operate. These are just some product snapshots of the product. It is available on a white label basis as well. So a lot of clients actually completely white label it and use of them. So far, this is just a list of Indian businesses we work with. There are about 130 businesses we work with. And that includes some of the biggest global companies that you'd be familiar with. So Netflix, Amazon Prime, Apple TV, Disney, and other players basically use our product to resolve their disputes, B2C disputes, B2B disputes, as well as complaints that they get from users. It's basically, this product has also been recognized by government and in the United Nations as, increasing access to justice. So online dispute resolution is actually coming up across the globe. ASEAN has come up with their own ODR mechanisms and a policy, and it's been a recognized tool to increase access to justice as well as lead to faster enforcement of contracts, which are essentially 2 UN Sustainable Development Goals. And it's also been recognized now as a proven environment, social, and governance mechanism for businesses to deploy. And wherever ODR has been implemented, the UN has basically recognized that it increases GDP. We've got some leading industry partnerships. CII is, of course, one, but I won't spend time here. We've also got London International Disputes Week and the International Bar Association. We've been extensively covered by press in India and outside. And I can see my time is over. So thank you so much, everybody.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, wonderful presentation. Okay, the next company is next to meet. Yes.
Hello,
yeah.
namaste, konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
My name is Pushpak and I'm the co-founder of NextMeet. Can I start sharing my screen, please?
Yes, please.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So we'll be talking about what we have developed at NextMeet in relation to the metaverse opportunities. Now, we all are aware of the opportunities which are coming up in the field of metaverse, not just for individuals, but for also enterprises. The problem we are solving here is to remove the fatigue associated or the kind of less interest among groups attending virtual events. Since the pandemic, there is a lot of usage of virtual platforms, be it Zoom calls or Google Meets. There is a huge market which is depending on remote and virtual platforms. And we realize that once people are in these kind of platforms, there is a loss of interest after a certain time. So what we have developed is a 3D experiential platform where you can create real life-like events, conferences, expos, meeting rooms, depending on the the need of that particular organization. So the platform comes with all the features which anyone would expect from a video call or a Zoom call. And I'm not just talking about an idea here, but the platform is ready. It's been used by companies like KPMG. We've had educational institutions like Michigan State University, ICFI University, Narsi Morji. We've had about 30 plus events which happened in the platform. And our Q1, we've started the early revenues where we have the revenues for enterprise solutions and also a monthly recurring revenue. I'm going to show you a quick snapshot video of the application in action. What you're looking at the screen is real people who have come into the platform as avatars. This is like a expo hall where people can gather, share screen. That's a professor teaching about communication skills to about 100 plus students. Now this engages the participants much more compared to the traditional 2D interfaces. And this is immersive. So there's a lot of scope for learning. What you have seen is an actual application, which can be downloaded by just visiting the website nextmeet.live. It comes for Windows, Mac, Android, and iOS. Let me go back to the slide. Now, talking about how we plan to monetize, we are targeting a very distinct segment. Hello? Yeah. We are targeting a very distinct segment related to education, events, meetups, and corporations, because there are a lot of platforms out there which are focusing mostly on gaming, but where we want to focus is more on the serious part of the collaboration, serious part of remote working. So that's why we have identified the educational events, meetups, and corporates, and that itself gives us a market size as large as a $5 billion globally, and there is a growing interest for industries across to adapt to the new virtual collaboration platforms. The business model is very simple. We're going to make it into a SaaS model where the application will be completely do it yourself. Anybody who starts the application will start his own session, invite people just like a Zoom call. Everybody joins as avatars, and the person who starts the session becomes the moderator or the host of that session. So there'll be a monthly subscription beyond a certain free usage. Above the monthly subscription, if somebody wishes to have a different environment, if somebody wants a different town hall or a different meeting, it comes as a enterprise solution. There is a kind of layer above the SaaS. And the third business model is completely free of use with advertisement, paying for us. So it's going to be an ad-based revenue where the participants will attend the 3D environments without having to pay. I'm now going to talk about the strategy which we are following based on the last 1 year, events and meetups which we have been doing. A lot of them we have done it for free so that people actually get a understanding of how 3D interface works, because it's very new for a lot of people to use a 3D interface compared to a 2D. And based on that, we have actually derived a very high level of satisfaction from the clients based on their interest and their willingness to repeat, willingness to pay. We have made a clear, distinct target for the year 1, where we are, in a very good shape of reaching that particular target. We've done a decent competition analysis where we have realized that a lot of 3D platforms are mostly oriented towards entertainment or gaming or events. But where we differed is we're not just doing it for one sector, but we are calling it a meetup. We call Next Meet metaverse for meetups. That's where we differentiate. And the application is very light. It works on any low-end device. You don't really need a high-end processor to run the application. Now, the future of what we have done so far is scalable, which is to say the framework which we have developed to create Next Meet can accommodate a larger 3D environment like the world architecture, where you could start having a economy by having a NFT, which gives access to the creators to sell or buy NFTs in a 3D environment. Now, that is how we want to take the application to the future versions, by having gamification, NFT, and create a community of users who would want to come from arts or music or entertainment to actually, come and explore the opportunities. This is our team. Sorry.
Hurry up, time's up.
Oh, okay. This is our team. We are 3 co-founders, and we've all got about nearly 20 years of experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, yeah, interesting technology. Okay, the third company is Impensas Electronics. Dinesh, your turn.
Hello. Yeah, hello everyone. Should I share my screen?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So, good morning everyone. I am Dinesh Narayan, founder of Impensas Electronics, and we are a farm-to-fork automation company. So I am Dinesh Narayan. My colleague, Mr. Guru Ignesh, is also the founder, is not joining today. And we are being mentored by Ravichandran Purushottam, who is the president of Danfoss India. So the problem that we are solving is by 2050, United Nations say we need 90% more food for consumption. And we see there is a 1.3 billion metric ton of food wastage even before it reaches the supermarket. And on the other side, every year, 600 million hectare of arable land is getting lost because it is needed for human consumption, either for settlement or for industrial development. So this essentially means there is a lack of efficient storage solution to preserve the food after the harvest. And we need a better cultivation technology to increase the yield in the same available land area. So that is where Impensas comes in. We have 2 verticals. One is Impact Fresh and Impact Grow. So Impensas under the Impact Fresh brand provides technologically driven solutions to preserve the food after it is harvested before it reaches the supermarket. So we provide solutions for storing fruits and vegetables. We provide customized, focused solution for apples, potatoes. We also provide solutions for citrus fruits, either for ripening and for storage. So how do we differ from the ones that are available in the market? Contemporary solutions only focus on maintaining the temperature and humidity. But what we do is also monitor and control the respiration and hormonal activity of the fruit. So we monitor the intake of oxygen, we monitor the respiration by carbon dioxide, we monitor the hormonal rates such as ethylene and ammonia. We also control the bacteria and virus to prevent the post-harvest diseases. So all these leads to about 1.5 to 2 times extension of shelf life. So let's say for apples, currently it is being stored for 6 months, but using our solution, we have demonstrated that we can store apples for about 10 months from the date of harvest. So this is our business model. We can provide our gas scrubbing solutions. So it can be specifically for ethylene or carbon dioxide, any specific gas inside the cold store. Or we can provide a complete solution that can be for storage or ripening or for different fruits and vegetables. So these are some of the photos of our systems. So this is a competitive landscape. So what we do is we provide economical solution to store wide range of fruits and vegetables inside the cold store. So you don't have to be a focused store for, let's say, apples. In the same store, we can control apples, potatoes, onions, citrus fruits also. Our systems are all modular in nature, so it is just pick and choose. You don't have to decide what you're going to store before building a cold store. You can do anything with that cold store. You can store even eggs and also milk powders. So this is another vertical that we developed during the COVID era. So we saw that there is cultivation is available, but there is no automation in that. So what we do is, if there is an existing polyhouse, which is cultivating any crop using hydroponics, aeroponics, or aquaponics, we automate that farm. We monitor the temperature, humidity, and the nutrient concentration such as pH and EC, so that we know what is being fed to the plants to grow it. We also control the light that is being exposed. So if you are growing flowers, we can provide more light, we can adjust something like that. If it is in indoor farms, we can also inject and take out oxygen and carbon dioxide to increase the photosynthesis. So using these, we can control the cultivation in indoor farms, protected environment farms, and also for mushroom farms. So essentially what we are doing as a farm to fork company is we set up an automated farm where you can cultivate any crop inside that farm. We monitor the temperature, humidity, the nutrient level, the photosynthesis level in that farm. We take that harvest and store it in a cold store where we extend the shelf life. And after all these, we just provide a tracking mechanism for the customer. Let's say if you are a farmer and you are directly delivering it to the customer through a simple QR scanning can understand what was the temperature, nutrient concentration while it was growing, what was the temperature, what was the gas concentration when it was stored in a cold store, and what is the process that was involved for the cultivation to have it in his hand. So this is the farm to fork complete solution that we provide. What is the impact that we create through our solution? So we make storage a less capital intense process. We decentralize storage. So you don't have to make cold storages for about 1,000 tons. We can provide efficient and economic cold storage solution for as low as 10 metric tons. And through our systems, that is modular filter based approach, we are reducing 30% of energy consumption than it is available in the market today. And we also extend the shelf life by 1.5 to 2 times without adding any preservatives. We just control the natural process of the fruit. And through the farm automation, we decrease the water consumption for the farm by 80% and increase the yield per unit area. And we ensure that there is a year-round cultivation cycle for any crop inside the farm. And we are working to solve zero hunger and responsible production and consumption for the UN Sustainable Development Goals. We are being recognized by UNIDO, which is United Nations Industrial Development Organization, and UNDP, which is United Nations for Development Programs. And we are also recognized by Startup India. So finally, we want to make sure that food is available and affordable to all strata of the society. That's it from us. Thank you.
Thank you. Good timing. Okay. All right. The last company, yeah, is from security sector, Confi Technologies. So yeah, if the audience have a question or comment to the last company, please put your name into on the your question or comment, because the presenter don't have to answer answer the question during the webinar. So we will forward it to by email. Okay. Please put your name onto your question and comment. All right. So the Confi Technologies, are you ready?
Yes, I hope you guys can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay. Firstly, thank you, CII Bhaktikat and Sumi-san, for giving us this opportunity. Well, just to give you a small background about QuinFi, we are a global trust platform. We are supporting organizations in carrying out the employee background verification across the globe. And we use technology to ensure it is faster, it is genuine, and there is no error while doing the verification. So the problem areas that we felt when we started on this journey was there was a serious concern around personal data security, because most of the verifications that were carrying out, there was a lot of data that was floating around, and people were very, very finicky about their data security. And that's the reason we thought we have to develop a platform which gives them sufficient solace about the data security. Second is about the speed of verification. Right now with the just-in-time hiring and gig workforce coming into a large, you need faster speed of verification. So the turnaround time of the entire verification becomes very, very important. Falsification of facts on resume, more than 35% of resumes that are floating around on the internet has some kind of falsification of facts. And that's where we step in. We ensure that the clients of ours make sure they understand the facts are clear and correct. Then we also have a B2C platform wherein we have developed a concept of continuous verification, wherein if you've already done one verification, you do not need to reinitiate it again, thereby saving time and cost to various clients. We have three solutions that we offer to our B2B customers as well as B2C customers. Quinn AI is an artificial intelligence based platform which supports and increases the onboarding experience for any employee, and smaller SMEs and small companies, they can use this product for faster and quicker onboarding. CoinBlock is basically a B2C platform wherein people with senior people with especially people with executive presence, they would not want to share data and make sure that whatever data they have is very, very secure. So we've got a blockchain based verification process for them. And this is also going to be used at later stage wherein all the databases or most of the databases are going to move into blockchain depending on the various countries' requirements and policies. Third is the Quinn Plus, which is a B2B SaaS portal, which is being used by various clients, and it is GDPR compliant, and the clients can upload a single case or 1,000 cases within a minute time, so that the speed of verification becomes very important. We established ourselves in 2019. We moved ahead. Last year, we incorporated ourselves in US. We started commercial operations in US. We've also started some work in the Middle East. We've tied up with some of the partners there to increase. We are opening an office in Singapore or probably Hong Kong later this year. We also plan to go in for seed funding because till now our revenue has been supporting our growth. But going forward, we need to make some improvement into the product. We're also thinking of adding metaverse support to the products to make it more interactive for B2, especially for B2C clients. what we do for the clients, we ensure that you've got the right candidate with the right credentials. We are using latest gen technology, whether it is for verifications, whether it's for experience, user experience, it is what we do. And 100% data security is what we already have targeted. Traction, we did start in 2019. 2020, we had the corona that had come into the impact, but we kept on growing because we use technology. So we got a lot of clients from other companies who were not able to support them digitally. So we were able to grow during that year. This year, we've already crossed $400,000, and we've also established our companies in the US. Going forward, the projection is at least 10x that we are looking at in this current year, that is 2022. The biggest asset for us is we are not dependent on any horizontal on any vertical. We are a horizontal. We cut across all industries. We cut across various sizes of industries, so it is not related to any. We've got clients which are smaller, like which have 10, 15 people. We've got clients which have got 20,000, 30,000 people also. They're hiring 5 people. There's some clients who are hiring only 5 people a month. I have also clients who are hiring 2,000 people a month, and they give verification to us. Apart from this, there are other use cases that can be explored. One is the matrimony verification that happens in various geographies. We are also looking at help verification, that is maid verification, and other help verifications and blue collar verifications that can happen. So this is something that's work in progress. We've already started the POC, and it will get over very soon. Market, 4.2 billion market is what is readily available when it comes only to the employment verification. But in case we would add other use cases that we have, it can be 10x of this number. Some of the, thank you. Ease of use is what we already spoken about, tech and data, multiple options for clients too, and we also aggregated. We've got 3 basic revenue models, B2B, B2C, as well as subscription plan. We are 3 founders with more than 65 years of experience, HR-related international experience amongst us. And these are the contact details in case you would want to reach out to us. It's a simple mail for across the globe. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, wonderful. Okay, all the program is finished. Thank you for joining our webinar today. Yeah, we will review the startup pitching, and yes, today's program came to end, but we have one more local challenge from Israel on next week. Yes, April 26th. So please join us again. Yes, yeah. Thank you very much, Madhu-san and Varun-san from CII, and also Ziri-san from Consulate General of India, Osaka, Kobe. And of course, the startups, 4 startups, great presentation, good motivation. Yeah, for audience, thank you for joining us today, and see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
藤本さん、ありがとうございました。